Hello and welcome back to Legends of Reed. I'm your host, Joanne Sukumaran, a bassoonist from Singapore. Today, the podcast goes on both video and audio formats. Joining me today is the talented oboist Sanja Romić. From 2011 to 2024, Sanja holds the position of solo oboe of the Belgrade Philharmonic Orchestra. Additionally, she has been an associate professor for orchestral studies in the woodwind department at Academy of Arts in Novi Sad since 2016. She regularly gives masterclasses worldwide and appears as a jury member of international competitions for wind instruments. Welcome to the show, Sanya.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share some common insights with bassoon players and other musicians.
Yeah, so how are you doing today? Are you coming to us from Belgrade?
Yes, I'm in Belgrade, and I just finished my rehearsal, and now I'm free. And afterwards I will do some reed making for sure.
Yeah, that's always a very good activity. Yeah. So I'm actually joining you from Vienna. As
Ah,
you can see from the back, I have some pictures of famous personalities. Maybe you can recognize the
which I
princess.
can recognize.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Sisi, yeah, and Kafka, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start the talk by telling people how we know each other. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's actually pleasure to meet you through one interesting activity, and that was like learning about business side of music while we were in COVID time. And I think that was from one side, yeah, scary time, but from the other side, um, personally for me, it was fruitful time because I got a lot of time to learn about things that I usually don't have time for because of different and diverse musical activities that I do. But I think that was actually a very good thing that we have done in the BIOM Academy. And I think it's something that I keep in my mind as really fruitful period because I got to meet a lot of people like you and very proactive and um, open-minded musicians who are eager to learn it and to expand somehow out of the classical frames of classical music. So it's really my pleasure.
Yeah, it was so nice for the listeners out there. BYOM means Be Your Own Manager. It's basically an arts management academy for classical musicians, and it was run by Bernhard Kara. So that was what she was talking about just now. How did you start playing the oboe?
Well, I like to say that oboe has found me. So I was always in the music since I know for myself. It was in the form of, performing for my family, dancing a lot, singing as well. And somehow it came out from the games that I played with my sister, So usually I would be the performer and she would be the organizer. So and the one very important thing is that I don't come from the musical family, but I had amazing teacher in my primary school who introduced really well music to us, and she was speaking about all the instruments. She was playing them for us, and somehow more than half of our class went to the music school. So I wanted to do the piano, but then I was late for the entrance examination. And afterwards, when I went to try with the flute, it was like overly booked, the flute. And then they said, okay, but you can take the oboe. So I knew what is the oboe and I knew how it sounds. I remember that dark, sound and everything. And I said, okay, I will take the oboe. So this is how actually oboe found me. And it was a really big support of my family who allowed me to do whatever I wanted to do, and a teacher in music school who really somehow believed in me. And she was actually the one who pushed me when I was doubting, when I had to enroll the high school. So shall I continue with music or not? And she somehow pursued me to do that. She said it would be so pity not to go to the music school further on. So I went, and straight after the first year of the high school, I knew that's it. So I will do the music, and this is somehow how it all started.
I see. That's really nice to have family support. Yeah, I know that you play on the Buffet Crampon Oboe called Legend, right? This model.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So could you tell us a little bit more of your collaboration with Buffet Crampon and about this model of oboe?
Yes, of course. Well, this happened like last year officially. When I started with Buffet Crampon, I got chance to try the Legend oboe because I heard about it. So I was just curious to try it. And I also organize here Oboe Fest, and we usually invite different oboe makers. So somehow I like to try and test new instruments. And then I got opportunity to really have it for a few months and to try it, within my frame of musical making, like in the orchestra with my chamber music group, in some other environments, and it was actually different, but it was somehow tempting. And I'm anyway very open person, like to, for new things, and like it was kind of inviting me to try it and to be with it. And when I managed during the summer to have some free month, without too many concerts, I really got opportunity to feel it as, as my own, and to find my own different kind of me through that instrument. And this is something that I love in new situations in life in general, that we do discover different parts of ourselves when we try new things. And this is also what I discovered with this oboe. And it gave me really a lot of stability and some kind of support, even with when I don't have like the best read, I felt that there is the support of the instrument and the sound, that it supports anyway, and also the intonation in the orchestra, and blending also, and somehow this even sound in all registers. So this is something that I really felt very comfortable with it, and very somehow secure, and this is what we want to feel as professional musicians. Because I was speaking with one oboe player, and he told me, like, it's so funny, when you speak with students, they always speak about beautiful sound, but then when you go into the professional music making and the orchestras and really some demanding programs, you want to feel safe as well,
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not only to have, okay, you can have beautiful sound, and I heard so many times beautiful sound, but without flexibility, without stability, without evenness in all
The
registers,
register, yes. Yeah.
and then that's not something that helps you to make music, because then you're a slave of just beautiful sound.
Exactly, yeah. You need to be able to blend and then support your colleagues. You can't always be the only one that is in the limelight unless you're playing the concerto, of course, right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, of course. Concerto is different thing, but still, also within concerto, you have to which kind of concerto, what do you want from it, and of course, also there, you need to have flexibility for expression. And if you are just slave of the, beautiful sound without any expression, that's just my personal opinion, then we cannot really express musicality, because
Yeah.
musicality is what tells the story of music, and it comes through different colors, different atmospheres, and this is the flexibility within the instrument that we can have, in order to really create beautiful music.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So I find it so fitting because you're playing on this oboe called Legend, right? And you're on the podcast Legend of Reeds, and I know that you're gonna have a world premiere soon, right? On 8th of March, right?
Yes.
This new oboe concerto, which is called.
Legend.
Yeah. So I find it, yeah, it's so fitting that you're on the show today. Could you tell us more about this oboe concerto? How did you start working with the composer, and what is it about? Yeah.
Yes, of course. Well, this is beautiful story, and it's about, well, legend in French. It's also kind of legend, story, fairy tale. It's this kind of meaning. And it's beautiful because somehow I have this one other project is called Music Stories, and it's also my friendship with a composer that 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 is last since 2010, 11, let's say. And I collaborated with him on my first CD, Melodies of Nations, and there is one piece of his, Duo Concertan, that is written for piano and oboe for us. And this is the moment where we started to speak about the Oboe Concerto. So there is more than 10 years about, you know, and we we were also meeting in Israel here and there. He was coming to Belgrade, and a fascinating thing is that first time when we have met in person, we spoke like we know each other since ages, and this is what I love, because somehow when you click with people, when you feel that you understand each other, then I feel that also we will understand each other in musical sense. And then we also recently spoke, and then he said, "Yeah, Oboe Concerto," and I said, "Yes, but let's do it maybe now. We will have 100th anniversary of my orchestra, and that would be amazing opportunity to do it." And then in the meantime, I became artist of Buffet Crampon, and I asked them if maybe they would be willing to support the commission. And somehow it clicked all together, so they agreed, and we decided to call this concerto Legend, because it's kind of story of life. So we have met with composer Nimrod Borenstein in London, because he lives there, so to speak about the concerto and how we can make the concept of it, what would it be about. And it's kind of a life story, so I can say that it will be in two movements. And first one is kind of beginning of life, when we are trying to search for ourselves, for our own expression, our own way. And then the second one is fast one, where is the moment where when you find yourself and you have maybe some struggles, but then it all finishes and ended up on your own note. So I'm looking forward very much, because in this concerto there is really opportunity to express what I was speaking about the instrument, the colors, the feelings, the atmospheres, and and it's written really so well that there is a communication with the orchestra, so everybody has its part in it, and this is what I really love the most. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. I always love, world premieres because you can feel the anticipation in the air. Something new is happening. Brand new baby is revealed to the world. Yeah. So I really wish you the best with the preparation, and I hope to watch the recording one day.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
I think there might be a recording. And I just wanted to mention that there will be a Hossein Pishkar, it's conductor. It's really an Iranian conductor, amazing one. So I'm very lucky to have all this crew and to be really able to perform it within the frame of 100th anniversary of my orchestra. That's really
Yeah.
a privilege.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I know, Sanja, you also run a podcast, yeah, of your own, which is called Playing and Living with Ease. Yeah. So what were some of your aims of starting this podcast?
Well, playing and living with ease, it's kind of my personal concept, I would say it. And it's everything that I have done and learned during my growing up as musician, every obstacle that I had, the way I solved it. And there are a lot of techniques that I use, the body technique, the mental preparation, psychology. And recently, what I have finished last year, it's coaching, the professional coaching. So and I was motivated for that from work with my students, because somehow everything that we have done, I realized that consciousness is the base of everything. And it's really ground which can be fruitful only if it's, constructive and if it's helpful. And through the podcast, I'm trying to just speak about all the subjects that appeared within my work with students and with myself, and then to try to give some tips and insights and maybe some skills that young people, but also I think older musicians can use, or just, something that can make some click of different kind of thinking about things.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was like the episodes are quite practical. You give some advice about finding your people, your community, right? Making
Yes.
chamber music, quite optimistic, very practical advice. So maybe just for the listeners of this show, could you give us some tips like how to play and live with more ease? For example, if someone was dealing with burnout or something like that.
Yes. Well, I think the base of everything is that we really have to learn ourselves every day. And I think that should be an everyday task, to be in contact with yourself first, because then we can feel what we need, and what we don't need anymore. Because what I have realized, I do really many things, and I enjoy them, and they're somehow really creative part of my work. But something that I was interested in before is not anymore prime priority for me. And the moment when you realize that, it's not always easy to say, to put it out, or to step out of that, or to, admit to yourself that this is not anymore your primary thing, and that you want some different things in your life. And this is, I think, where ease comes, when you are in touch with yourself and you are brave enough to go after that what you need. And you really need to be brave enough today, not today but always, because there are many beliefs, especially in classical music world, that you have to have that, you have to be there, if you are this, then you're successful, then you have a title, then you have, you mean something, you're worthy,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's, in one way, it's, of course, your titles are a result of your work, hopefully, mostly, but they are not defining us, they are not making us worthy or not. And I think this is really important to understand, because then you will not work anymore things that are not fulfilling you, because burnout comes exactly from there, that you force things that are not giving you energy anymore.
Draining, right? Draining
It's
energy,
one
yeah.
thing, I think, to be tired, but the other thing is to be drained out. This is when, you are not, exchanging, you like, you give something, but you get some energy from what you do. And this is very important. And this is where I think it's really important to be in touch with yourself, to observe those things on everyday, in everyday life and in your musical practice, and then to change accordingly, because then that is where ease comes, and that is where your joy remains.
Yeah, those are wise words, I think, coming from your vast experience, playing in the ensembles. We interrupt this interview to bring you a message from our sponsor. Legends of Reed is sponsored by Barton Cane. Barton Cane is your stop for quality double reed cane. Their cane is processed with precision equipment completely designed by them. Your days of saying no to happy hours are over. Use coupon code Legends of Reed, all one word, for free shipping on any order. Take back your life with Barton Cane. And let's get back to the interview right now. So, could you name us perhaps one of your most memorable experiences playing in orchestra?
Well, like, I think there are many concerts. It's hard to say memorable ones, because also their concerts are special atmosphere, it's special sphere of existing.
Yeah.
Not always, but the best ones are when you manage to be in that kind of dimension. But I have to say that, of course, one of the biggest gifts that I have got while playing in my orchestra, it's of course a huge experience, because we have really serious big programs, beautiful music, and great soloists. And also contact that I get with Maestro Zubin Mehta. And why? Because I remember the first time when I played with him. It was shortly after I entered the orchestra. And that was just the moment, when before I started to play the solo, it's just the moment when he looked at me and like I looked at him, and the moment when this kind of dimension appeared, so you just disappear from the the physical world. And this is what I call common musical sensibility. It's not just conducting, it's not just, but it's something that you understand. I understood everything that he wanted me to play, but also I felt completely free to express myself. And that was the beautiful moment. And that is something that doesn't have to do with who he is, his name, and so on. It's just simply something where you click with people on this musical level and musical sensibility.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. I remember when the Israel Philharmonic came to play in Singapore, what stood out for me was before they started the concert, they played our national anthem, and everybody just rose to their feet, And that for me was a very touching gesture, as a
Yes.
visiting orchestra to go to a foreign country to respect someone else's anthem. Yeah. It was quite impressive, yeah. So I know that I heard from a little bird that you are leaving your orchestral position, right? Is that right?
Yes, I yes. Well, this is interesting story because it's something that I felt for some time, and this is like it doesn't have to do anything with like that something happens. It's just this what I was speaking about, like listening to myself and my needs, and um, I say it's valuable experience through which you grow when you're in a good orchestra. You grow really as a musician through that. But then, I just felt need to have more of time and space, to be able to create my own projects. And I do like focusing on teaching because this I enjoy a lot. But also, like creating my projects within music with everything that I like, So I do have a lot of talents. I know that, and I'm thankful for that. But somehow I really felt need to release a bit of time for that and to pursue whatever new comes. I have idea where to go, but I also have this little space that I don't know what will happen, and I love actually having that, just to leave space for something to surprise me.
The unknown.
Exactly. Because until now the best things happened, without planning really. I mean, I knew what I want. I knew, in which circumstances I want to play, how, with which kind of people, so on. And then, I just got some amazing opportunities that I would never think of. So this is why now, from that experience, I like to say I like to have this little unknown and just to leave it be there and let it see what happens. Yes.
Okay, so maybe it's a more chamber and solo projects. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, I
Okay.
have like I this year we have started already a bit postponed, but it will happen the CD with the guitar player that I'm collaborating with, and we will also have some concerts with him this year. And also, I have some chamber groups. We do like different formations, but mainly quintet, sextet, or trio. So we have also concerts with them, and I have also some orchestra coaching plans and jurying, and also some upcoming creative projects with other people. So it's and some master classes. So there are actually quite enough things already in this year, but it's you know it will happen.
Okay. Yeah. So to end our interview, what do you like to do in your free time to relax and unwind?
Well, I do absolutely go to the nature, and usually then I don't listen to the music. I'm like offline, and I just enjoy the quiet. This is really what I like, to disconnect somehow from the outer world. And another thing that I really enjoy, it's dancing Argentine tango, because this is something that I do already for, I think there is almost 10, 12 years that I started doing it. But you know, it's with ups and downs. Like when I have more time, I do it more. When I don't have, I don't. But it's something that I also came back to, like this last year, and this is something that really like recharged me a lot, and I really enjoy it because it connects, you know, movement and music that I'm researching a lot, and that I also get inspired with for the music that I play and also in my teaching. So this is something that I really enjoy.
Oh yeah, I've been thinking a lot about getting a second phone, like I heard a podcast that you should have two phones and then you just have one phone with no apps, just people can call you and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you use your regular phone after 2 p.m. so you be more productive and have less distraction. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Well,
been lovely talk. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
whatever works for you, yeah, you should try it, test it, and then do like that.
Yeah, my Spartan phone. Yeah. It's been lovely talking to you. A lot of inspiring ideas and projects. Wish you all the best. Toi, toi, toi for 8th of March.
Thank you so much, and thank
Yeah.
you for hosting me. It was a pleasure, and I really enjoyed listening also to your podcast because I think it's full of really inspiring people, and it's always valuable to hear different kind of experiences and insights. And this I really enjoy, like also in my free time, listening to a good podcast.
Thanks so much. Yeah, that means a lot to me. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
thank you.